House to Home Senior Move Management. Your move, your home.
The basic of packing and unpacking.
Okay, we're going to talk about the very basics today. First thing we're going to do is set up our workstation. You have a table and maybe the client's table. We might bring a table. You might have to create a table with a box using one medium box that you build all the way with a medium box flat on top of it as a tabletop. But we should always, with our client's furniture, if we're going to use it, put a tablecloth on it. Why would we do this? 2 reasons. 1, protecting their furniture, and 2, protecting any kind of delicate items, fragile items that we might be packing, okay? So we've got our box, right? I'm gonna set it down on the floor and I'm gonna fold these sides down. There's a little tab here, okay? And we fold it flat and then open the box. This way, those aren't gonna get in the way. That's the top of the box. So as you can see, the letters are upside down. And the writing is upside down. That's a great way to know the top from bottom also. So we're gonna fold in 4 flaps of the box like so. And then we take our tape. Think about 3, okay? We're gonna take 3 pieces of tape. We're gonna tape the seam of the box 3 times. Make sure they're as close together as you can get them. And sometimes when they're full, I have to squeeze them between my knees. All right. So this is what I'm talking about when I say the seam, okay? I'm gonna do 3 of those. Go up about 3 inches on each side of the box. If you do too much, we're wasting tape. Too little, and it's not gonna be strong enough. And it seems it's almost on top of the other piece of tape, but not quite. Push it down so it sticks. And here, this is done perfectly well. Okay, they overlap a lot, but they're not on top of each other. Okay, so now we've got our box. What we need to do with this box is put bumpers in it, all right? And bumpers have a couple of purposes. One is to support everything in the box from getting broken. And the other is to support each item that you put in the box from getting broken. So we need to make bumpers. I'm gonna try to lay this as flat as I can. You take 2 pieces of paper. I'm just gonna pull them apart a little bit. And then crumple them up like that. And then lay them flat. And then bring in the sides after you've rolled them for a little bit. And roll them together. I did not roll this tight because if it's tight, it doesn't have air in there to absorb shock from the different items that we're putting in the box. Okay, then it goes in the box, and we're gonna line this box with bumpers on the bottom so that when the dishes lay on them or the vases or whatever it is, they're nice and supported. Okay, so I just finished lining the box, the entire box, bottom of the box with bumpers. They are not gonna easily fall out and they're not packed in there too tightly, okay? So next, let's talk about packing dishes. Now, these happen to be very nice china dishes, and you know, it may be the world to somebody. We wanna make sure that we treat them that way, okay? We've got heirlooms, we've got dishes that people fed their kids on, and they may look awful, but you know what? It doesn't matter how important they are to us. What matters is how important they are to our clients. So I'm taking 1 sheet of paper and I doubled it over. Now I'm gonna wrap the next one by placing it on top. And I'm gonna fold this over. So I know I have at least 2 sheets of paper here between dishes. I like to do just 3, okay? 3 strips of tape and 3 pieces of paper, or 3 different dishes. And then I'm gonna wrap them all together again. Fold these over like that. So I've got a nice compact package. Okay? Now, because I have more than one item, I'm gonna take my Sharpie here, which I should have mentioned before, and I'm gonna put 3 pieces. Okay, 3 PCS. It took me half a second to do that. 3 pieces. Now, when we put dishes in a box, we want to put them in vertically. We would never lay them horizontally or flat. Okay, so we're standing dishes on their sides. Same goes with vases and glasses. Because I've got my bumpers here in a row, I am putting the dishes in perpendicular to the bumpers, okay? Not in the same direction, because if I do that, and I want to be really careful with these, if I did in the same direction as the bumpers, see, they could slide right in and then there's no bumper on the bottom of them, right? But if we put it in like this, perpendicular, the opposite direction, then this is laying across really almost 4 different bumpers that can absorb the shock, okay? So we're gonna just fill this box with as many like kind as we can. So if this box has all plates in it, that's terrific, but sometimes you have to mix dishes, and we'll talk about that next, okay? All right, so I packed all the plates, except for this one. There's quite a few plates in there, but there's still room in the box. So I have some other items that I can pack on top of those. But before I do it, I want to put a few bumpers on top of the plates, so they're not just laying on top of each other without bumpers, but I do have plenty of room to do that, okay? So now I'm gonna take a specialty gravy bowl, all right? Now the reason I wanna show you this is space is an opportunity for pressure, okay? There's a lot of space between the plate of the gravy bowl and the actual gravy bowl itself. So we want to protect that, we want to create resistance to outside forces by putting paper in that area, filling that empty space between the plate and the bowl. Okay, see how it's going all the way around the bowl in that empty space? And this way, if there's pressure, there's a little bit of resistance to breakage. Right, now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna wrap it. And this is somebody's fine china, right? Okay, I have this thoroughly wrapped. It's one piece. We don't have to put a number on it, but I'm gonna lay it on its side. Again, not flat, okay? I'm gonna lay it on its side on top of that row of bumpers that I created already. All right, next we're gonna talk about bowls and teacups. So I've got some soup bowls here with handles on them. So they kind of represent a teacup and a bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and set this in the middle. I'm going to fill that bowl, okay, so that there's room in there. It's padded inside. I folded it over 2 times. Then I'm gonna put the next one in, okay? And don't press hard, but we're gonna fold this over 2 times again. And then the last one, I'm gonna set it like that. And then I'll fold over this. Now we're going to take an entire piece of paper and we're gonna roll them together, just like we did the plates. So this is very similar to the plates. And just like with the plates, we need to label them. If you put your pen like this on your apron, you just clip it, you won't be searching around in your apron for your pen all the time. 3 pieces. hooking my pen. Okay. Now again, I'm not laying these in there flat, but if you feel this side has a little less cushion than this side. So when I put in the next items, I'm going to put cushion to the side that has less cushion. Okay, just makes sense, right? As we stack them, we don't need as much cushion on both sides. We need cushion touching a side without as much cushion. Okay, so I'm gonna lay those in there too. Okay, are you ready to do some wine glasses? Wine glasses can be sturdy or they can be very delicate. You never want to force these in anywhere, okay? Or really any dishes, but with crystal, with clear glass, it is especially important to be super duper careful of that. Now, with the wine glasses, we have the same challenge. We've got an empty space, so we're gonna fill these wine glasses with paper, all right? I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna crunch this up so that I can make sure that I've got the space around the stem covered also. So now you can see it's almost even. It's almost like a cylinder, right? I don't have the stem all by itself. The bowl has reinforcement inside of it. So with this wine glass, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna roll it. And I'm not gonna put it in flat. I'm gonna put it in standing up. It's also okay to put it in upside down. Just don't lay it flat, okay? And I'm looking for where is the more buffered side, the more cushioned side, and I'm gonna set that in there like that. Once I have my box full, I'm going to take and I'm gonna make more bumpers. Okay, I'm gonna put them on the top of the box, but before I put them on the top of the box, I'm going to fill in any spaces on the side. There is a great saying, and it's if it don't shake, it don't break. We don't want things moving around in our boxes because that means that there's potential for things hitting each other. So that's why we use the paper, to bumper, to cushion, to keep our clients' items safe so that they know they're gonna get to their new home the way that they should. When you have the box packed, and it's all bumpered and there's nothing moving around in here, take out your knife, box cutter, and just gently cut the tabs. Now some boxes won't have tabs, that's okay. If they don't have tabs, they don't have tabs. Always put your knife back in your apron pocket so you don't have to go searching for it. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close these. All right, how many times do we tape? 3, remember? Just like the bottom. Because think about it, somebody's probably gonna be putting something on top of the box. Now, we have a system, a color-coded system, and every box gets a color tape. See how I'm going down about 3 inches? And if you need to smooth it out so that it sticks to the box, right? I know what I put in this box. I've got my marker. I'm gonna use my marker. And so for this one, I would put gold china, okay? Very simple explanation of what it is. I'm not saying I put 12 plates, 12 bowls, and 6 wine glasses and a gravy boat. I'm just putting gold china. Very quickly, very simple. Our color-coded tape. I happen to know, because I've been doing this for 4 years, that yellow stands for kitchen, okay? The purpose of the tape is to identify which room the box goes in easily. So when the movers bring them in, Let's put that there for now. They know which room to put them in, and we know which room to direct them to. So we take diagonal corners and just take it's about a 6-inch strip, I guess, and put it on the box. Now you can see yellow from every side of the box except for the bottom. And because we made sure to put the box in the right direction, the right position where the letters and the wording can be read without turning upside down, we don't have to look at the bottom. We only need to see the top. So you got your box done. You're gonna stack it where we've staged the area for the boxes to go. Okay, we're gonna talk about unusual pieces, right? Things that are more delicate. I've got this really beautiful quartz butterfly. My girlfriend Jen gave it to me, actually. I love it. Anyway, on first glance, it's one piece. However, a lot of artwork has more than one piece. So I'm just gonna gently, oh, look, the wing comes off, right? Just gently tug on the different pieces to see if it is one of those kinds of pieces that does that. So now I've got 2 pieces of quartz and a metal stand. I don't want this metal stand next to these in my box, scratching them, and I don't want these next to each other, chipping them. So I'm going to take and lay one of the pieces of quartz in the corner and start rolling it. Okay, whoops. And that was several rolls, so I'm gonna put the other wing and roll it. Now I know that it is way too easy for things to get disconnected, for things to get divided and never see this again and have 2 wings or vice versa. So I'm gonna go ahead now and roll this unbreakable object in with our breakable objects. But it could still bend, so I don't know if you can tell that I'm being very gentle with this. I didn't smash it all together. I'm just being very gentle to protect that stand and the wings. And I know what you're thinking, oh, she's gonna get out her pen and tell us to say 3 pieces. And you're right, that is exactly what you do. Okay, so I'm gonna set this down so I can open my pen. If we weren't on video, I probably would be using my mouth, but which is another reason to keep your own pen in your own apron. 3 pieces, it's gonna go in the box. All right, we're at the new house. We're excited. We have a lot to do today because, you know, we want to make sure to get everything as perfect as we can, so that our clients can come into their new apartment as early as possible, all right? Because even though you guys have been working hard, they're exhausted just from the idea of moving. So we want to get everything done in as timely a manner as possible. I am carefully lifting a box with my, not with my back, but with my legs. And I know this box is from the kitchen and it says gold china on it. So I know what I'm going to be unpacking. I know that it's fragile, right? China is always fragile. And so once again, I'm gonna get my knife out. Now, a knife should always be in, the blade should always be in if you're not using it. And I know that makes sense, but when we set a knife down without putting the blade in, we risk hurting ourselves, our co-workers, or putting a hole in something that belongs to our clients. And we don't want to do that, okay? Especially you and your colleagues, okay? Let's take care of each other by only having the blade out when we're using it. So I'm gonna bring it out and I'm cutting away from myself because I don't want to get cut because it hurts. And then on the top, just kind of, you'll know where that middle seam is. Lift this up so it's away from the box and just run it down. There we go. And you see how I hit that? I didn't hit it into the box. Don't punch down into the box, okay? It was, I had room here, so I could separate it a little bit. But if you can't do that, tear the tape off. Do not punch down into the box. Okay, I'm opening it up. I'm gonna put my knife in my apron so I know where it is. It's closed. And then I'm gonna remove the bumpers. Okay, obviously, this is a demonstration. I don't have bumpers in there, but imagine we have bumpers. We have a bag where we put our clean bumpers so we can reuse them, okay? So I'm gonna take out the first wrapped items. And that's a loose piece of paper that was used for this. One at a time, okay? I'm unwrapping everything one at a time. And then I'm going to set the paper aside. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the next item. Oh, this says 3 pieces. I know that not just to unroll it, right? I know that there's more than 1 piece in here. So I'm gonna be super careful and take them out 1 piece at a time. 3 pieces. There we go. I've got 3 bowls. I'm gonna set that down because I don't like the way those 3 bowls stack. Yeah, move my paper out of the way. No, it doesn't say more than 1 piece. I'm gonna carefully unroll it. Oh, it's that gravy boat. Look, it stayed in 1 piece. Yay! Oh, these are pretty heavy. 3 pieces. Again, just be super careful when you have more than 1 piece. I mean, obviously you're gonna be careful no matter what, but I'm gonna move this out of the way because I've got a lot going on, and we all know that wine glasses can break easily. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to put these on the shelf one at a time. Okay, I'm going to wait till I have all my plates in a stack so I can place them where they go. And that's pretty much the basics.
House to Home Senior Move Management. Your move, your home.